Hello Vorthos and Mel Commander players, I am Prospo, and I welcome you to EDH Scout. Today we will do a tribal review for the Kaldheim set for the Elves Tribe. Hope you enjoy. The Elves Tribe got a huge boost in Kaldheim. One of the pre-constructed commander decks was an Elven Tribal deck, which boosted the tribe even more. Elves got total 36 cards, having the full flavor range from 4 to 25 points. We've got two new commanders. The Elves in Kaldheim are green and black, which we have seen in the recent Commander Legends set, and back in Lorwyn. 6 new cards give you ramp, and 7 card advantage. There are 6 new removal spells, and 4 anthem effects. The Elves Tribe interacts with the graveyard, with life gain, with +1/+1 counters, and with the snow mechanic. But the most prominent sub-mechanic is the token creation, with total 11 new cards. The Shadow Elves of Kaldheim live in the wooded Skinfire realm. Skinfire Elder Hall can act as a removal and a token creation spell later in the game. The first Elven commander of the set is Harold, King of Skinfire. His ability lets you find another elf when he comes into play, and scores 23 flavor points. Even though he is the King of Skinfire, he is not so popular tribal commander for elves. He is good in the 99 though. Lathril, Blade of the Elves, with 22 flavor points, was the face commander of the Elven Empire pre-constructed deck. Her heavy tribal-themed abilities helped her to climb in the first place of the Elven Tribal commanders. In a few months after the release, she managed to dethrone Isuri, renegade leader. Kaldheim is the home plane of a new Elven planeswalker. Tyver is a nice tribal planeswalker, and he will be an auto-include in the Golgari Elven Tribal decks. With his static ability he turns all of your elves to mana dorks. He can also create elf tokens, and put +1 counters on them. His ultimate ability is a really powerful card draw effect, which can lead to strong elf ball type plays. 3 sagas tell us stories about the elves in Kaldheim. Binding the Old Gods is a nice removal and ramp spell. Harold unites the elves. With the first chapter can reanimate an elf with only 4 mana. The second chapter boosts all your elves, and the third chapter can be used as a powerful removal spell. Battle for the Brigade is a nice token production spell. In the commander deck, we got 2 powerful elves that trigger each upkeep. Wolverine Riders can flood a board with elves, and gains you life in the process. Ruthless Winnower is a one-sided edict effect, which definitively will attract your opponent's removals. The elves got another lord in Kaldheim. Canopy Tactician, at 4 mana, is overcosted for a lord, but can ramp you as well. Elvish Warmaster, on the other hand, is very mana efficient. At 2 mana, he has 22 flavor points, and creates an elf once its turn, when you play an elf, and can pump your team at a late game. The Elves Tribe got more spells that trigger when an elf dies. Skinfire Avenger draws you cards, and Elder Fang Venom drain life from your opponents. Serpent Soldier gives you the ability to replay your dead elves, at a cost though. After gaining advantage with the elf death triggers, you can return one of your elves back into the battlefield with the very flavorful Return Upon the Tide. The next 2 cards have powerful ETB abilities, and count the number of elves you control. Thormantle Striker can be a creature or planeswalker removal. Skinfire Shadow Sage can act as a finisher. The number of elves you control matter for the next spells as well. Elven Ambush doubles the number of elves you control at instant speed. Crown of Skinfire can pump one of your creatures, as long as you have many elves into play. King Harold's Revenge can pump one of your creatures as well, and force your opponent to block it. Sculptor of Winter and Boreal Outrider are the Snow Elves of Kaldheim, and can be useful in an Elven Tribal deck, with snow, or +1 counters sub-theme. The +1 counters strategy gets 2 more spells. Struggle for Skinfire can be a nice removal spell for these decks. Snakeskin Veil is on the counters theme as well, and can be a useful protection spell. 2 sorceries with 11 flavor points are in the set. Bounty of Skinfire can potentially ramp you, and draw an elf card to your hand. Roots of Wisdom, on the other hand, helps with the graveyard interaction strategy, but cannot ramp you though. Jasper Sentinel, with 16 flavored points, can be useful for mana fixing, but the 1 mana slot is already overcrowded in the Elves Tribe. The last 2 cards that we will talk about today are weaker than the previous, but can be considered for an Elven Tribal deck, only as Curfews. Elder Leaf Mentor brings 2 bodies in the battlefield, and Elder Fang Disciple is the burglar rat for the Elves Tribe. The last 6 cards are even weaker, and it is very unlikely to become relevant for our purposes. This was the tribal review for the Elves Tribe in Kaldheim. What is set for this tribe with total 36 new cards? The Elves got a new popular and flavorful commander, a tribal planeswalker and numerous powerful commander cards. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe. See you soon with more flavorful videos.